Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most complex logistical puzzles in modern engineering. Seriously, have you ever thought about how you build something when its parts are just too big to fly? Well, that's exactly the story of the Airbus A380. This isn't just about building the world's largest passenger plane. Nope, it's about creating a transport network that had to be just as innovative and just as ambitious as the aircraft itself. See, to compete with the big American manufacturing giants, Airbus was set up as this unique European alliance. It's got 11 major production sites, all spread out across the UK, Germany, Spain, and France. Each factory is a specialist, building one specific part of the plane. It's an amazing example of teamwork, for sure, but it also creates an absolute logistical nightmare. So to solve this puzzle of moving huge components quickly all over Europe, Airbus couldn't just buy a cargo plane off the shelf. They had to design their own. And the result was this, the Beluga. I mean, look at it. It's a plane that looks just like a flying whale, and it was designed for one single purpose, carrying pieces of other planes. Okay, these numbers really put the Beluga's incredible scale into perspective, right? But the real genius is in the design. That entire nose section, it hinges upward, creating this massive, wide-open door. This makes loading something as huge and delicate as a wing section super efficient. The design was so good, in fact, they later built an even bigger version, the Beluga XL. But just when they thought they had the perfect system, Airbus's own ambition outgrew its solution. With the launch of the A380, the world's biggest passenger plane, they basically hit a wall. Their own brilliant creation, the Beluga, just wasn't big enough anymore. And this table just lays it all out, crystal clear. You can see it right there. The main fuselage sections and the wings of the A380 were simply taller and wider than the entire cargo hold of the Beluga XL. They had literally built a plane whose parts were too big to fly. So you might be thinking, why not just build the wings in smaller pieces? Well, here's the crucial point. For structural integrity, for safety, the wings had to be built as a single, massive, indivisible piece. This was a non-negotiable engineering fact, which meant that flying them to the assembly plant was completely, totally off the table. So, what do? You get creative. Airbus devised this epic, multi-stage journey that combined 3 different modes of transport. It was a meticulously planned route, and they called it the Super Convoy. This whole odyssey begins on these custom-built roll-on/roll-off ships, and these things are enormous. They have 5 times the cargo space of a Beluga plane. That's what it takes to carry these massive sections all the way from Germany to the coast of France. But this trip is incredibly dangerous. The North Sea is famous for its violent storms. I mean, can you imagine being responsible for a pair of wings worth 40 million euros, trying to protect them from being smashed by 5-meter waves? The crew has to be on it constantly, checking the securing chains every 4 hours, because one little mistake could send a priceless component straight to the bottom of the ocean. So, after surviving the open ocean and finally arriving in France, the journey is still far from over. The parts are carefully moved from that giant ship onto these specially designed river barges for the next leg of the trip, a slow journey up the Garonne River. And this is where the convoy faces its most precise, most time-sensitive challenge, a 200-year-old stone bridge in the city of Bordeaux. The arches are just about wide enough, sure, but the real problem is the height. And this is where it gets absolutely incredible. The river's water level is actually influenced by the ocean tides 60 kilometers away. That means the water is only low enough for the barge to pass safely under that bridge for, get this, 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes, once every 12 hours. The captain has a 180-second window that they cannot afford to miss. No pressure. Now for the final 250-kilometer leg of the journey. For this part, you can just throw everything you know about normal road transport right out the window. This isn't just a big truck. This is a full-blown rolling operation. They only travel at night, on totally closed roads, with a massive support team. Yeah, this last part demands unbelievable precision. You've got a 40-person team of police and engineers guiding these super trucks as they just snake through these historic towns at basically a walking pace. And the wings, they're overhanging the truck by 15 meters, gliding past ancient buildings and street lamps with just millimeters to spare. And then, after this insane, continent-spanning journey, all the parts finally arrive at the main assembly plant in Toulouse. That's when this high-tech assembly line kicks into gear, beginning the final process of putting the giant together. From the very first part being built to the final plane rolling out, the whole thing takes about 9 months. So, what's the end result of this continent-spanning multi-million-dollar logistical ballet? Well, it's a plane that can carry a maximum of 850 passengers in a single flight. It's a plane with a maximum takeoff weight of 575,000 kilograms. To put that in perspective, that's like lifting 300 large SUVs off the ground at the same time. Suddenly, you understand why those single-piece wings were so important. And all of that effort, all that precision, that incredible journey by sea, river, and land, it all culminates in a single completed aircraft with the staggering price tag of $445 million US. You know, this journey is an almost unbelievable testament to human ingenuity and teamwork. It really makes you wonder, when we push the boundaries of what's possible, are the crazy logistical challenges we have to solve just as impressive as the final product itself? It's something to think about.